News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
More wrangling before the Montana Supreme Court over Jordan Johnson's student records. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Tuesday, July 7th, 2015. The sky is overcast. It's pretty mild out there. We have 56 degrees in Missoula. And our newscast, sponsored by Dr. Troy Doxey and the friendly team at Chiropractic Works, where they're dedicated to your chiropractic solutions. This morning's top story, the Office of the Commissioner of Higher Education is returning to the Montana Supreme Court to appeal a district judge's ruling, ordering it to release information on any action the commissioner took after Montana quarterback Jordan Johnson appealed to university court, recommended that he be expelled over a rape complaint. A commission spokesman said the U.S. Department of Education advised the Montana University system against releasing the records to author John Krakauer, citing the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. The Missoulian newspaper reports that the state's high court had previously dismissed the case as, quote, premature, end quote. Krakauer sought the information, saying he was writing a book about sexual assaults at the university, which has since been published, including accusations that Johnson raped a female acquaintance in 2012. Johnson was not expelled, and he was acquitted by a jury in March of 2013. Fire managers are claiming that Stage 1 restrictions in Missoula County over the 4th of July weekend helped to limit the number of fires. However, Montana DNRC Public Information Officer Crystal Beckman said there were more than just a few fire starts.
For the State Department of Natural Resources and Conservation, we had some initial attack fires, 16 this week, but none did get over 10 acres. There was 5 lightning fires and 9 human-caused fires.
The biggest fire was the Twin Creek fire, but even that was not a large fire.
The largest fire was northwest of Potomac, the Twin Creek fire, and that was at 6 acres. The overall fire managers across the Missoula area are pleased with the public working with them on the fireworks restrictions, making sure that they are careful not to ignite a fire, and so overall we're very pleased with how the weekend went.
Even though there was a little rain and cooler weather starting Sunday, Beckman says the Stage 1 restrictions will probably continue for at least another week. The Glacier Rim fire north of Columbia Falls grew to over 100 acres in the past few days. Fire Information Officer Ellen Blickman said the fire broke through a containment line on the 4th of July weekend.
4th of July, we actually had a wind event with a little bit of rain, but mainly winds coming from the east, which did create a slop over the containment line. So we had about a 25-acre, what we call a slop over, so it was additional fire.
Cooler temperatures Sunday and Monday helped firefighters bring the fire back to 70% containment.
We're just working to reinforce those lines and on the south flank of the fire there. At this point, the fire is not threatening any structures. Flathead County has contacted residents nearby, talked to people about planning if there was to be the worst-case scenario, an evacuation.
Blickman said there are currently no evacuation orders in place. Authorities say the vehicle and a prosthetic knee of a North Dakota woman who went missing almost 4 years ago have been found in Idaho. The Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office says the prosthetic knee belonging to Florence Dumonte was found yesterday, make that last week, by hikers in Idaho. Shoshone County, Idaho authorities then launched a helicopter crew, which spotted Dumonte's vehicle about 500 yards off I-90. The 82-year-old woman from Ardok vanished while driving to Washington State in October of 2011. She was last seen on a security camera at a gas station here in Missoula. Authorities in Grand Forks have slated a news conference this afternoon to provide an update on the investigation. Following the recent U.S. Supreme Court decision that effectively legalized same-sex marriage in all 50 states, KGVO News contacted Mark Thain, the superintendent of Missoula School District 1, to see how the decision would be reflected in the district's curriculum. Thain said, coincidentally, that the district will be reviewing its health enhancement curriculum this summer.
Relationships and marriage and all those types of issues are part of our health enhancement curriculum. And according to the cycle that we have submitted to the Office of Public Instruction, health enhancement curriculum will begin review this summer. So we're right now in the process of committee formation.
Thain said sensitive issues regarding sexuality will be included in the curriculum, last updated some 5 years ago.
There will be, of course, sensitive subjects that come up anytime you deal with health enhancement curriculum and human sexuality, etc. So the committee will have discussions about what grade levels different topics might be addressed and introduced, and ultimately whether or not there will be a mechanism for parents or students to opt out of that instruction.
Thain said when all is said and done, parental involvement in all school issues is of paramount importance. The Supreme Court decision set aside the Montana constitutional amendment declaring that marriage is between one man and one woman. Yellowstone County officials have released the name of a 32-year-old man who was killed in a fireworks accident in Billings on the 4th of July. Coroner Lieutenant Bill Jones told the Billings Gazette newspaper that Nathan Van Natta of Billings died of blunt force trauma to the neck. Police Sergeant Harley Cagle said a mortar that was launched from a tube struck and killed Van Natta at about 10:30 Saturday night. Fireworks are illegal in Billings. A 52-year-old Great Falls man died in a weekend rollover crash south of Havre. The highway patrol said the man was northbound on secondary 234 at about 7 o'clock Saturday morning. When he failed to negotiate a curve, his pickup truck rolled. He was ejected from his pickup and died at the scene. The Hill County authorities have identified the victim as Stephen Formanak. The Montana Department of Revenue has finished assessing private property values and will be sending out mailers to Montana property owners over the next few weeks, including the taxable amount of each property. Assessment Division Administrator Cynthia Montemore said for most of Montana, property values haven't changed much since 2009.
The property values generally, there was not a significant change as there was in the 2009 reappraisal cycle. There was some slight changes throughout the state, but overall the property values remained relatively stable.
If a property owner believes the state has valued their property either too high or too low, they're advised to contact the local revenue office.
We have what we call a Form AB 26, which is an informal review of their property. One of our appraisers would set up a meeting to meet with them and visit their property and go over the property information that we have on file in which we use to value their property.
In the past, Montana property was assessed every 6 years, but the 2015 legislature shifted that back to a 2-year cycle. Newstalk time is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy skies today with scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Highs will top out in the low 80s. A few showers and storms this evening. Lows drop into the mid-50s. We'll see our highs in the upper 80s and low 90s for the rest of the week. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.